We hope those of you on this call who are current investors stay with us, and those of you who prefer a more short-term focus, that you choose companies that are more appropriate for you.
Hi buddy, Palantir stock have crashed for the last few weeks and recently it went up again. So is it time to buy Palantir stocks right now? In this video, you will discover number 1, how Palantir actually makes money, and number 2, I'm going to share with you the shocking facts about Palantir that you do not know and you have to know. And number 3, is it a good time to buy Palantir stock right now? And number 4, what is my personal opinion and action towards Palantir? So how does Palantir makes money? For your information, most of my sources are from the financial report of Palantir. I'll put the link towards the financial report in the description below. Palantir business is to build software platform for large institutions whose work is essential to our way of life. And those institutions must be able to function in times of stability as well as crisis and uncertainty. To do so, they need software that works. As of now, Palantir have mainly 2 software platforms, namely Gotham and Foundry. The Gotham platform is mainly to serve the function of governments, and the Foundry platform is mainly to serve the function of businesses and commercial purposes. For Gotham itself, I'm not sure if I pronounced correctly, Gotham enables users to identify patterns hidden deep within the datasets and ranging from signals, intelligence sources to reports from confidential informants, and helps US and allied military personnel find what they're actually looking for. Some of the benefits of using Gotham platform is to detect the terrorist locations much earlier and able to track down criminals. Moreover, identify potential threats much earlier. For Foundry itself, Foundry transforms the ways organizations operate by creating a central operating system for their data, and individual users can analyze the data they need in one place. The speed which users can experiment is what makes the software stick to them. Some benefits of using Foundry platform is to better control of the business inventory, and this can reduce the expenses for the business. Moreover, understand customers' behavior, and this can potentially increase the business sales. Moreover, it can also use to increase the control of logistics, which potentially can reduce the business expenses as well. The sales from government segment is increasing at a rate of 77% year-on-year basis, which is much faster comparing with the commercial segment. At the same time, for year ended 2020, the sales from government itself represent 56% of total revenue, and commercial segment represent 44% of total revenue. Based on this observation, we can see that the growth rate for government segment is growing really fast. However, there are some shocking facts about Palantir that I must share with you. Do get ready. Palantir's management mentioned that if we do not successfully develop and deploy new technologies to address the needs of our customers, our business and results of operation could suffer. Palantir has been spending substantial amounts of time and money researching and developing new technologies to meet the customers' needs. Palantir mentioned if we fail to develop our platforms that satisfies customer preferences, we may fail to retain our existing customers.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Palantir also mentioned we do not work with the Chinese Communist Party and have chosen not to host our platforms in China, which may limit our growth prospects. It mentioned its leadership believes that working with the Chinese Communist Party is inconsistent with our culture and mission. Therefore, Palantir do not consider any sales opportunities with the Chinese Communist Party and do not host any platform in China itself. Lastly, it mentioned our decision to avoid this large potential market may limit our growth, and we may not compete successfully against our competitors who choose to work in China itself. At the same time, Palantir management do remind all shareholders that if we are unable to hire, retain, train and motivate qualified personnel and senior management, including Alexander Cup, I hope I pronounced correctly, he's the CEO of Palantir, okay, one of the founders and our CEO, Chief Executive Officer, and deploy our personnel and resources to meet our customer demand around the world. our business could suffer. Palantir's management has once again reminded us that Mr. Cup's management experience would be difficult to replace, and the loss of the services of our key personnel could result in harm to our business and operations. For this, I believe that both you and I can observe that Palantir business do have a very high key people risk. Palantir management once again mentioned that we have incurred losses each year since our inception, and we expect our operating expenses to increase, and we may not become profitable in the future. May not become profitable in the future. In details, Palantir management also mentioned that they have incurred losses each year since their inception, and they may never achieve or maintain profitability at all. And as they continue to expand the business, they expect operating expenses to increase as well. Based on my research, I found that the management of Palantir has been selling their shares on hand. Moreover, the CEO itself, Alexander Karp, has been massively selling his own shares. And based on the last reported date, the founder and CEO himself only have 1.21% ownership of Palantir. In my opinion, this is a negative sign, because as a shareholder or potential shareholder, I would definitely want my CEO to have more skin in the game by having more ownership of the company. On a side note, I really respect the management, because the management is honest and setting realistic expectations for potential investors. Because through one of the interview, the CEO did mention that if any of the investors are looking for some short-term profits or profits in the near future, do not invest in Palantir, because Palantir may not be a suitable investment for them.
We hope those of you on this call who are current investors stay with us, and those of you who prefer a more short-term focus, that you choose companies that are more appropriate for you.
Let's look at Palantir financials. Regarding revenue, it is growing pretty fast, from 500 million to around 1000 million. Pretty good. Regarding net income, it has been negative throughout, which means Palantir has been making losses every year. Regarding earnings per share, it is negative as well. Regarding free cash flow, which is the bloodline for any business, it is currently negative for the past few years, and this is a very big dangerous sign. The number of outstanding shares has been increasing as well, and this is a negative sign because existing shareholders are being diluted. Palantir has been taking up more debts recently. However, for debt to equity ratio of 0.28, it is pretty healthy. Therefore, as of now, we have nothing to worry about. Regarding the ownership breakdown of Palantir, it looks pretty usual. Let's take a look at a compensation plan for Palantir's CEO. For Alex, he was paid 12 million per year, and yet the company has been making losses since inception. Buddy, think about it. Alex has been the CEO for more than 10 years, and every single year the company is making losses, and yet he paid himself around 12 million a year. Personally, I think that it is not right to pay yourself large sum of money when your company has been making losses. It doesn't make sense. To put things into perspective, let me share with you Elon Musk from Tesla. Tesla has been making money since last year, and yet Elon Musk paid himself just 23,000 per year as a listed company CEO. Next, let me share with you Jack Dorsey from Square, who is one of my favorite leaders in the world. And Square has been making money for the last 2 years, and yet Jack Dorsey paid himself just $3 per year. Next, Chris, who is a CEO of McDonald's, is being paid around 5 million per year. And both you and I know that McDonald's is a much bigger business compared with Palantir. So in my opinion, it definitely doesn't make sense to pay Palantir's CEO such a large sum of money when the company has been making losses. Basically, Palantir has been facing losses since inception. At the same time, Palantir stocks has been growing at a rate of around 200% since IPO. So is it a good time to buy Palantir stock right now? And what is my personal opinion and action towards Palantir? I really like Palantir business because the revenue is growing really fast. At the same time, I only invest in businesses that have a strong moat. And for Palantir itself, it has both high switching costs and network effect. I foresee that the big data industry will be growing really fast for the next 20 years. At the same time, I believe Palantir can ride on this trend. At some point in time, I believe that Palantir business is definitely scalable. However, we do have to take note of the fact that Palantir has been making losses since inception for more than 10 years. Moreover, the CEO has been selling Palantir shares, which caused his ownership of Palantir to decrease tremendously, which makes me really uncomfortable if I'm investing in Palantir stock. As of now, I'll put Palantir stock into my watch list, and at the same time, I will continue to research and understand more about Palantir business. Anyway, do comment down below to share with us what do you think about Palantir. I'm really interested to know about your views as well. Do comment down below. Do subscribe to this channel so that I'm able to share more insights with you and we can profit from the stock market together. I will see you in the next video over here.